You talk entirely too much. You have massive goals. You have incredible ideas. You want to get into the best physical shape of your life. You want to build a highly successful business. You want to completely change your financial situation and escape the system. And what is the very first thing you do when you get these powerful ideas? You tell people. You tell your friends. You tell your family. You post a cryptic message on your social media accounts about the big moves you are making in silence. You feel a massive, intoxicating rush of energy when you talk about your plans. People tell you how proud they are of you. They tell you that you are going to be incredibly successful. You go to sleep feeling like an absolute conqueror. But then you wake up the next morning and you do absolutely nothing. You do not take a single step forward. You feel completely empty. You feel drained. You have zero motivation to actually sit down and do the hard work. You think you are just lazy. You are not lazy. You are biologically sabotaging yourself. Let me explain exactly what is happening inside your brain. There is a deeply destructive neurological trap called premature dopamine. Your brain is a highly advanced biological machine, but it has a very specific flaw. It cannot tell the difference between the reality of achieving a goal and the fantasy of talking about achieving a goal. When you sit in a coffee shop and passionately explain your new business idea to your friend, your brain releases a massive flood of dopamine. Dopamine is the molecule of motivation and reward. Your brain actually thinks you have already accomplished the mission. It gives you the chemical reward of victory before you have even started the battle. And because your primitive brain has already received the reward it was looking for, it completely shuts down the drive to actually do the hard work. Why would your brain spend months of painful energy building a business when talking about the business feels exactly the same? Every single time you open your mouth to announce your plans, you are bleeding out your motivation. You are trading your future success for 5 minutes of cheap validation from people who do not actually care. If you are incredibly tired of being a person who only talks, and you are finally ready to become a person who actually executes, pay very close attention. Welcome to the Ghost Phase. Subscribe to this channel right now because we do not tolerate the illusion of progress here. We build absolute reality, and we build it in the dark. We need to completely destroy the modern illusion of the grind. Society has brainwashed you into believing that success requires an audience. You have been systematically trained to perform your productivity for the internet. You see average people waking up at 5 in the morning, and the very first thing they do is take a picture of their coffee and their laptop to prove to the world that they are working hard. This is not discipline. This is a performance. This is the aesthetic of productivity, specifically designed to harvest likes and comments. It is a pathetic cry for attention. The most dangerous people in the world, the ones who are actually building empires and changing history, do not care if you know they are awake. They do not need you to validate their early mornings. They do not want you to know their next move. They operate in absolute silence. They understand that every single ounce of energy spent trying to look successful is energy stolen from actually becoming successful. You have to make a brutal choice today. You can either look like a winner on the internet, or you can actually be a winner in real life. You cannot do both. When you work in silence, you completely remove the pressure of external expectations. You no longer have to worry about what your old friends think of your new progress. You no longer have to manage the opinions of people who are not even in the arena with you. The silence becomes an impenetrable fortress. Inside that fortress, you can fail. You can make terrible mistakes. You can experiment, you can pivot, and you can learn the hard lessons without anyone judging your process. The people who talk the most are usually the ones who are the most terrified of failure. They use their loud words as a shield to hide the fact that they are not taking any real action. But when you shut your mouth, the shield is gone. You are forced to look at yourself in the mirror and face the brutal truth of your own life. There is nowhere to hide in the silence. It forces you to either do the actual work or finally admit that you are a fraud. This brings us to the ultimate protocol for transformation, the 6-month window. I am not asking you to disappear forever. I am asking you to vanish from the grid for exactly 180 days. Why exactly 6 months? Because human biology and human psychology require sustained time to fundamentally change. 1 week of intense focus is just a vacation. 1 month of focus is a temporary diet. But 6 months of absolute, uncompromising, silent execution is a complete biological and psychological reset. 6 months is enough time to completely transform your physical body. It is enough time to learn a highly valuable new technical skill. It is enough time to build the foundation of a business that will change your financial trajectory forever. But more importantly, 6 months is the exact amount of time required to starve your ego to death. The fragile part of you that desperately needs validation cannot survive for 6 months in the dark. It will die, and from its ashes, a completely new, untouchable identity will be born. During these next 6 months, you are going to become a ghost. You will not announce your departure. You will not make a dramatic post saying you are leaving social media to focus on yourself. That is just another pathetic cry for attention. You will simply stop participating in the noise. You will stop attending events that add absolutely zero value to your future. You will stop engaging in meaningless gossip and text messages. You will look at your current life. You will identify every single thing that is not directly contributing to your evolution, and you will cut it out with absolute ruthlessness. You are going to step into the void. It will be incredibly lonely at first. Your phone will stop ringing. People will stop inviting you to things. You will feel completely disconnected from the world. But you must understand that this disconnection is not a punishment. It is the ultimate freedom. It is the blank canvas upon which you will build your masterpiece. The ghost phase has officially begun. Now that you have officially entered the ghost phase, you need a highly specific set of rules to survive the next 6 months. You cannot simply stay inside your room and consume entertainment. Isolation without execution is just depression. Isolation with execution is absolute evolution. You're going to follow a strict, unbreakable framework to rebuild your reality. This brings us to rule number 1. I call it the dead-end protocol. If you want to successfully shut your mouth and evolve, you must become a conversational dead end. During these 6 months, people will inevitably try to pull you back into the noise. They will text you about unnecessary drama. They will ask you what you are working on. They will try to figure out why you are suddenly so quiet. You must not give them any fuel. When someone asks you what you are doing, you do not tell them about your massive goals. You simply say, "I am just working on a few small things." You keep your answers incredibly brief. You become profoundly uninteresting to average people. You do not argue. You do not try to explain your philosophy. You just let the conversation die. By becoming a dead end for gossip and distraction, you protect your energy. You stop leaking your power into conversations that do not matter. Rule number 2 is about what you actually do in the dark. You are going to build a 3-pillar foundation. You need 1 physical goal, 1 financial goal, and 1 mental goal. That is it. You do not need 10 different habits. You need brutal simplicity. For your physical goal, you will train your body every single day. You will lift heavy weights, you will run, and you will sweat. You will build a physical vessel that is capable of handling massive amounts of stress. For your financial goal, you will choose 1 single vehicle. You will learn a high-income skill, or you will build 1 specific business model. You will not jump from idea to idea. You will pick 1 path and you will strike it repeatedly like a hammer. For your mental goal, you will consume knowledge instead of entertainment. You will read the books written by people who have already conquered the mountains you are trying to climb. You must understand that this daily routine is going to be incredibly boring. Society has sold you the lie that success is a glamorous montage of exciting moments. It is not. Success is doing the exact same boring, difficult things every single day, long after the initial motivation has completely faded away. Boring is where the absolute magic happens. Boring is where the weak people quit and the champions are forged. You have to learn to fall in love with the boredom of repetition. But I must warn you about the Crucible of Month 3. Around day 90, you are going to hit a massive psychological wall. The initial excitement of the ghost phase will be entirely gone. You will look at your bank account, you will look at your body, and you will feel like you have not made enough progress to justify the isolation. Your brain will scream at you to quit. It will beg you to post an old picture on social media just to feel seen by the world. It will try to convince you that this entire protocol is a massive mistake. This is the exact moment where your entire life is decided. Day 90 is the graveyard of average people. When the motivation completely dies, you cannot rely on feeling good. You must rely on cold, calculated discipline. You must use the silence as a weapon. When you feel lonely, you channel that loneliness into your work. When you feel frustrated, You take that frustration to the gym and you destroy it. You do not try to escape the pain of month 3. You sit in it. You let it burn away the remaining weakness inside of you. If you can survive the crucible of the 3rd month, you will unlock a level of focus and predatory drive that you did not even know existed inside the human biological system. You will cross the point of absolutely no return. If you hold the line, something miraculous happens. You reach day 181. The ghost phase is officially over. You open the door and you step back into the light, but you are no longer the person who walked into the dark 6 months ago. You do not have to announce your return. You do not have to tell anyone how hard you worked. Your results will speak so incredibly loud that you will not have to say a single word. When you walk into a room, the energy will shift. People will look at your physical presence, they will look at the quiet confidence in your eyes, and they will be genuinely intimidated. They will wonder what happened to you. They will ask you what your secret is, and you will look at them knowing that they do not have the discipline to survive the silence. You will have proven to yourself that you are a creator of reality, not a victim of circumstance. You shut up. You evolved. You became completely untouchable. But the ghost phase does not start tomorrow. It starts the exact second this video ends. I want you to look at a calendar right now. I want you to find today's date, and I want you to count forward exactly 6 months. What is that exact date? I want you to write that specific date in the comments below, and next to it, I want you to write the words, "I disappeared." Plant your flag right here in this comment section. Leave your weak, talking self behind. Close the browser, shut your mouth, and let the evolution begin.